Today we are here with Canyon Schneider, a senior offensive lineman at Denison University and member for the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. Canyon has made a tremendous impact both on and off the field. Over the past 3 summers, he has volunteered over 400 hours at the hospital, directly assisting patients and supporting medical staff during hundreds of patient visits. Now, let's get to know Canyon Schneider. Hey Canyon, how are you? Super excited to have you today.
Thank you for having me. I'm great.
Awesome. Well, congrats on being named a member of the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. We're super excited to just hear about your story. We want to first start off by just hearing a little bit about you. For those that are listening, could you tell us a little bit about who Canyon Schneider is, both as an athlete on the field and someone off the field?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Canyon Schneider. I'm from a small town west of Columbus called West Jefferson. It's a village. We count cows in our population over there. But I'm a senior here at Denison University. I'm a chemistry major. I'm currently in the medical school application process, so I'm excited to get some of the balls rolling with that here shortly. I'm a center here for the football team, and I really enjoy serving the community. West Jefferson, I think, is really the basis of my service. Being a small, very stereotypical farm town, everybody knows everybody. You're always there for each other. And I had a lot of chances in my early life to be involved in West Jeff. And that was part of the reason that I chose Denison. Being a small school, same area, I felt like I was able to be myself here at Denison. And I've been able to, continue service with the new home here, and also give back home as well.
So obviously, such an honor to be a member of the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. Can you tell us a little bit about what it means to be a part of this to you? You've obviously been involved in a wide range of service opportunities, putting in over 400 volunteering hours at hospitals, and then leading mental health initiatives and more. What does it mean to you? And then can you tell us a little bit about what first inspired you to get involved in your community?
Yeah, I think getting recognition for something that you don't expect recognition for is something that's kind of hard to wrap your head around. I had a great conversation with one of our administrators yesterday, and she left me with something. She was like, "This is just who you are." And I think that service as a whole, as a Christian, as a football player, as a big brother, as a son, is something that's a very much we, not me mindset. But it's amazing. I really hope that moving forward through this, award process that, this award doesn't necessarily define me, but it's a byproduct of the people that, were affected by my service. So I really hope that it can be vicariously through those whose lives were hopefully changed through my works and not my life being changed by it. But, something that I think inspired me with all of my service is that idea of, it's a Division III school, right? And I think a lot of people maybe write Division III athletics off as a whole. But being able to get into our communities like Dennis, with Denison surrounding with Granville, Newark, Heath, and even back home in West Jeff, being able to get Denison University out there is a big, huge part of it. And it's just such an honor to be able to wear, the block D across my chest, and to be out in the service is something amazing. From the healthcare perspective, I want to go into family medicine. My personal family doctor, Dr. David DeWalt, is one of my biggest inspirations. To be half of the doctor that he is here in the next couple of years is something that I really can't even fathom. So being in family medicine with him, and then even being in the emergency room here at Licking Memorial right next door. At the Licking Memorial side of things, it's interesting. Being in an emergency room, very different climate, compared to family medicine. But a lot of Denison students go to Licking Memorial, and being able to help there, and even in family medicine, an office that I've been to 100 times, being able to give back there is something that's really special.
You're the president of Denison's Mission 34 chapter, which we haven't hit on. You've been a voice for mental health awareness on campus. Can you tell us a little bit about this Mission 34 chapter and why this work is specifically so important to you?
Yeah, so Mission 34 is a student athlete mental health organization that was actually founded here at Denison. Sean Bonner was a baseball player here who died by suicide, and Mission 34 was founded in his honor to bring awareness to end the stigma around mental health. Speaking from a football side of things, I think that a lot of times we hear as student athletes the importance of physical toughness. Whether it be to grit through injuries, grit through tough times. But one of the biggest missions of Mission 34 is this new type of tough. Because having mental health discussions it's hard. Being vulnerable is hard. Opening up to your friends is extremely hard, and asking for help is hard. So we meet biweekly. Here we had our first meeting last week, and it was fantastic. But truly, Mission 34 is founded in ending the stigma around mental health and bringing light to that new type of tough. Not just for yourself to put tools in your own toolbox, but to be able to be there for others. Mission 34 is super important to me. I struggled a lot in my transition into Denison, going from small farm town to a very affluent Granville. I mean, I'm 50 minutes away from my front door, right? It's not like I'm super far away from home, but it was a really big change and challenge for me. And after I kind of got out of that bout with some depression and anxiety, Mission 34 was one of the big organizations that really helped me pull out of that outside of faith, family, and football. Mission 34 was a huge guiding light for me, and to be able to be involved over my 4 years and take over as the president of our chapter for this year has been something that's really close to my heart. Hoping to give the same experience to some version of me, a freshman or sophomore that may be going through something similar or something completely different. Just going into every meeting, every talk, every social media post, hoping that you never know what somebody might be bringing in to the room. So hopefully being able to change somebody's life through that.
Out of all the service projects you've done, whether that has been working in the emergency room or with Mission 34, any other things that you've been able to do, what has been your favorite, or was there an experience that stuck out to you out of all of those?
There's a handful. One that really pops off the page was actually in emergency medicine. It was my first day. It was my first day there. And being a volunteer, being an intern, however you want to look at it with what my position was, it's a very interesting and fine line that you have to walk, because obviously I'm not the one providing medicine. But I viewed my job as just trying to make, the professional's life a little bit easier, whether that be the support staff, whether that be the physicians, and hopefully give a more comfortable experience for patients in both emergency medicine and family medicine. But I had to wear my student identification tag because I was a student. And being close to Denison, I'm walking through the hallways one day, and a patient came in pretty rough shape. And his spouse actually physically grabbed me out of the hallway and asked, do you go to Denison? And I was like, I do. I'm a student here. And they were in, you can't really put thoughts into people, but a very tough time. And it come to find out that the spouse, the husband, all of their family members that were there had either worked or graduated from Denison. Wow. And my day very quickly turned into a 2-hour, very emotional conversation with them just in room 9 there in the emergency room. And I think it really showed a big kind of revelation for me. Medicine isn't necessarily about always ordering the right test, giving the right medicine, performing the right operation, but truly building a connection with patients. And that's why I love family medicine so much, being preventative rather than reactive. But it really showed to me you never know what's going to walk in the door. And then one that will forever, be etched in my brain was with youth baseball. And obviously I'm a college football player, right? But baseball holds a very important part in my life. And I got to coach my little brother over the past couple of years. And that was my big, initial why behind coaching. My little brother's my best friend. And I'm so we're on a bye week this week, so I get to go watch him play in person for the first time this season tonight. But I got to coach him, and at the end of the season this year, driving home with him, I'm a little bit teared up because that was probably the last time coaching him for a while. But he just looked over and said, "Thank you." And I was like, for what? Colson, like, what, for what? And he was like, for being my big brother and my coach. And I was, oh, dang, I'm going to get emotional now. But, I think that with that, coaching is so important. It's not about wins and losses, especially in youth sports. It's 100% not about wins and losses. But building a love for sports, sports are such a beautiful thing. They give you all the intangibles that you need in life. But I think that they just make you a better person, no matter what the sport is, whether it's golf on a Saturday, playing leisurely, or a full competitive sport. It's so beautiful. We can put aside our differences, people from all walks of life joining for a common goal. And I hope that those kids that I've coached over the past couple of years, the same group with a couple kids revolving around, but I hope that they can take away, that sports is so important. And I really look forward to watching them over the next couple of years as they get into high school.
I also think it's special that you've found such a why within everything that you've done, and you can carry that into your career in the future in the healthcare field. And that's just going to be amazing. And people are going to continue to watch you and just be inspired by you. If you had to give one piece of advice to other student athletes so that they could get involved in the community as you have, what would that one piece of advice be?
Make time. Make time for yourself, because, like we talked about with Mission 34, it's impossible to pour from an empty cup, but also make time for others in your life. I think, especially at the Division III level, there's not a ton of people that are getting drafted. There's not a ton of people that are, signing professional contracts. You only have so much time while you're here. But make time for those around you. I think, like I said, with sports, it's all about connections. We were up over in Pennsylvania for our week 1 game this year, and we're praying it out the night before. And one of our coaches, he was a Division III football player as well. And Coach Londot said, football is all about connections. Make time for each other, be there for each other, and be your brother's keeper. And I think that can be applied everywhere. Make time for those that maybe need influence in your community. Make time for those who need help, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. So fight in each other's corner, be there for each other, and give it everything you got, because the time goes quick.
Well, you found plenty of time to do such incredible things, and it's been amazing just to hear of your journey. So, Canyon, thank you so much for joining us and just taking the time to be here. We wish you all the success off and on the field and all your future endeavors. For those listening, thank you for taking the time to tune into Canyon's story, and be sure to stay connected as we share more inspiring conversations with members of the Allstate AFCA Good Works.